I know what you're thinking. How did she end up with ground camel? Okay, so let me tell you the backstory first. There's the ground camel. So, my family and I decided to go on a little road trip for spring break, and we ended up at this store called Jungle Gyms. Now, if you're from Ohio or you've ever visited Cincinnati, Ohio, this place is ginormous, has a little bit of everything. So we're in the store, we're shopping, and my husband always likes to pick out things for me to cook and try to challenge me and like get those creative juices flowing. So we're walking through, we get to the exotic meat section. I look in there, we're chatting about all the things we see. All of a sudden, he picks up ground camel. I'm thinking, okay, he just wants to pick it up and chat about it. Nope, throws it in the cart, walks away nonchalantly. So that's how we have ground camel. So now I'm going to make him a Moroccan spiced ground camel sloppy Joe. So I started off with some bacon in a pot, and I'm going to render all that fat out. I add a little bit of more salt because that helps pull all the moisture out, and I also added some olive oil because I like to get all the flavors in that oil because we're going to brown the ground camel. Here I am checking to see what this says because hold on, let me get all my safe handling instructions. I've never cooked with camel before. How do we do all this? So that's what I'm doing here, just checking to make sure. Now, camel is actually not unheard of in other parts of the country. You see it in Somalia, you see it in Saudi Arabia. There are feasts because camels can feed hundreds and hundreds of people. When I originally looked up the flavor profiles of camel, it told me you can expect beef with a little bit of lamb. So I'm thinking, okay, a little gamey. So I'm like, I want something spiced, super flavorful that's going to kind of cut through that gamey flavor that you get sometimes with lamb that I'm not super fond of. So we went with the Ras El Hanout seasoning. Now, what's Ras El Hanout, you ask? Literally translates to top shelf. So in Moroccan cooking, you see this. It's a combination of cumin, coriander, turmeric, spice, clove, allspice, all these things that have a lot of flavor but add a certain richness to the dish. So I removed the bacon from the pan and I set it aside because we're going to add it back in later. So don't throw it away if you're making this. If you're making a ground camel sloppy joe, don't throw away the bacon. And you see me look like, okay, yes, come through, sizzle. And it smelled good as soon as it hit the pan. I'm also going to add one chopped, so that's a sweet onion. But you can use any onion that you like. I went with a sweet onion and that's like 8 cloves of garlic chopped. Like I said, we want big flavor. We want it bold. Now I'm going in with the Ras El Hanout, and I'm going to sprinkle that all over the camel. And I'm also sprinkling it on the onion garlic situation because everything's got to get flavor, right? Next, I add in a little bit of a chili powder and a smoked paprika. I kind of want to give it that like smoky undertone and like play with the bacon. You see where I'm going with this? And of course, we add a little bit of salt and pepper. You make sure you season the camel and your onions and garlic. Yes, season them both because, if you're making a ground camel sloppy joe, here's what you're going to want to do. Salt and pepper, Ras El Hanout, smoked paprika, and a chili powder as you season it. So after I start to hear it's starting to get brown, you can smell it, I start breaking it up because as a Midwest girl, the way we eat sloppy joes, it's almost got to be like a crumbly meat texture. So once I hear and I can smell that meat is starting to cook, I decide to start breaking it up with my spatula here and get all those flavors inside of the camel. Again, all this is imparting flavor on the camel. Because who cooks with camel? I'm still tripped out that I'm cooking with camel. But anywho, now I start mixing in the onion and garlic with everything else. And again, I just want to make sure everything is well seasoned and mixed around. So as it's browning, I'm stirring everything up, mixing it, and I get like a whip, and I'm like, okay, this does not smell bad. It smells really good. I even asked my husband, you can see me ask him shortly, babe, does this smell good or is it just me? You smelling this? And he's like, yeah, it smells real good. All right, now we're gonna go in with a lot of tomato paste. Yes, I don't know exactly how much, but it's a pretty good amount. You can also use tomato sauce. However, I find that tomato paste imparts more flavor, and I didn't want it to be a super saucy sloppy joe. I also went in with a little bit of Better Than Bouillon roasted garlic paste and a little bit of water in lieu of a beef broth, because again, I still want to be able to taste the Camel and not hide behind a beef broth. I'm laughing at myself because, yeah, I really wanted to taste the camel meat. I also added in a little bit of apple cider vinegar to add some acid as just a balance to all those earthy, strong flavors, and to kind of work with the acid of the tomato paste. Now I'm going to cook down the tomato paste and everything and make sure it's cooked through, because no one wants to taste raw tomatoes with their Camel, right? And then we're going to cover it and let it simmer with a couple bay leaves as well. So I went with the King's Hawaiian pretzel buns. I don't know why. I just felt like the pretzely sourness would go well with it. So I buttered them up, toasted them in a pan, and that's what we're going to serve our ground Camel sloppy joe on. Okay, so here I am trying to find a piece to taste. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll just get a big spoonful. Let me show it to you guys. No, don't get a big spoonful. Yeah, go ahead and get a big spoonful. Show it to the camera. This is my first video, so bear with me. Yeah, show it to the camera. Ooh, that looks good. It looks good, right? It looks like a sloppy joe. But I'm not about to eat that whole piece. So let me just get a little piece. So I'm searching for the right little piece. I'm terrified. That's a look of terror. Oh, it smells good. I'm so terrified. Am I really about to eat Camel? Let me just blow on it. Okay, just girl, just taste it. Taste it. It's not gonna kill you. Just taste it. Taste it. Oh, okay. You did that. Not bad, girl. Not bad. Needs a little bit more seasoning, so that's what we're gonna do. Add a little bit more. But that ain't bad, y'all. So you might be wondering what this tastes like after my first taste. The best way I can describe it, it's giving beef, but more flavorful. I don't know how to describe it. It also has this like nice bison. If you ever had bison or venison, it's giving that kind of, but not as like gamey as I expected it to be. I added some more seasonings. I was real happy with it. And there it is. My Moroccan spice ground camel sloppy joe. Y'all, I am really happy with it. So let's plate it up. We're going to pass it to my husband and we're going to get his full review on it.
Good.
How are you just saying that because I'm feeling you? You can be honest.
No, it was good. I knew you figured it out.
So there you have it, my Moroccan spiced ground camel sloppy joe. Yes, my husband lived to tell the story after he said, I knew you'd figure it out, but click like and subscribe for more.